At some point this was gonna happen because it happens to everyone. No one can escape it. It's the inevitable decline, to not be capable of what you once were. And once you have that realization that that's what's happening, it sucks. It will happen with old age, no doubt, 100% guaranteed. But many times it happens with a career or with a certain way of thinking. Which leads me to the first of my two subjects, Arsene Wenger, whose team Arsenal got beat by Bayern Munich 5-1 in the first leg of the round of 16 in the Champions League, which, given the strength of Bayern, is an insurmountable lead for the Gunners to overturn in leg 2, so that is it. It is done. This is the 7th straight year that the Gunners are gonna get knocked out of the round of 16, which leads me to two things. One, as the True Geordie correctly pointed out yesterday on Twitter, there is no shame in losing to a team as talented as Bayern when they have superstar players in every position, but as I pointed out in response to the True Geordie, there is shame in how you lose. And Arsenal laid down in the second half. Not only did they give up 4 unanswered goals, but more telling for me, and not that I condone violence on the field, but they only committed 1 foul in the last 45 minutes. I mean, where is the fight? Where are you showing that you care? This little shit cares. You get stuck in and you let your opponent know that it's gonna be a tough game no matter what the scoreline is, and they had none of it. And I don't care if their best central defender Koscielny went off early in the second half with an injury. If anything, it should make the players that are still on the field and the guy that replaces him raise their games to compensate for his absence, not completely fold over. Also, Wenger mentioned after the game that his team had collapsed, which prompted 2 responses from me. 1, yeah, no shit. And 2, this is the fundamental problem that I have with your club, Mr. Wenger, and I hold both you and your players equally responsible. Once you go down 3-1 with 30 minutes to go, you don't try to score another goal. You pack it in, you don't let it get any worse, you take your away goal and you go back to the Emirates to try to win 2-0 to go through to the next round, which should be a known solution to everyone on the field. And the fact that it wasn't, there's no leaders out there saying, hey, listen, I know we're not feeling good about ourselves, but let's keep our shape together, let's just close out this game, and we'll take care of business back in London. And the fact that that messaging isn't coming from the boss himself is just, I mean, there is so much talent on the sideline and on the field. How does that happen? How does it happen? I don't know, but it was an epic collapse from people that should know better. 2, as much grief as I have given to Arsene Wenger over the years, I think he's a special manager who has clearly done some incredible things and who I have a lot of respect for, and his philosophy and how he goes about his business, but it's time for him to finish his career at the end of the season. Because it's clear this is the best he can get out of this generation of players, and I think we can all agree that these players are capable of so much more. So if I was Arsenal, I would encourage him to announce that he was retiring at the end of the season right now. That way they can shift the narrative from something negative to something positive, because then everybody would want to celebrate what he's about while he's still doing it. And then I would go and offer Borussia Dortmund's Thomas Tuchel as much money as he wanted to take the job. And now let's talk about my other subject and another team in crisis, Barcelona. And this one seems to have a similar feeling to it because 1, manager Luis Enrique needs to go. And yes, I know he's won 8 trophies in the last 2.5 years, but look at the team he inherited. If I was in charge, I would have won at least 4 trophies during that same time period. And against PSG, they were outclassed in almost every single way. Actually, I don't even know why I added the almost. They were outclassed every single way, but maybe the most troubling is the fact that they don't look like they're enjoying themselves. And when the players don't look like they're enjoying themselves, it's because they don't buy into the tactical plan and the messaging, and that falls on the manager. 2, whoever let Thiago Alcantara go to Bayern Munich, and whoever agreed to pass on signing Toni Kroos, who apparently was available to Barcelona before he signed with Real Madrid, and then whoever decided, you know what, I'll fix our midfield problems. We'll spend 100 million on Arda Turan and Andre Gomes to fix our midfield instead. Yeah, you know what? You need to go because you're not very good at your job. But the conundrum is, who comes in for Luis Enrique? And if it's more of the same frustration with someone new, especially if it's someone that Messi likes, like a Jorge Sampaoli, who's doing great with Sevilla this season and apparently has a great relationship with some of Barcelona's top players, will Messi still want to leave when his contract is up in 15 months? So many questions, but who has the answers? Do any of you about Wenger and Arsenal and Luis Enrique and Messi and Barcelona? And do you blame the players, or do you blame the managers, or do you blame both? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. Later.